what should the Super League divisions be? I'm going to tell you what mine should be, and you're going to disagree. And they're pretty darn easy. I think it should be an SEC East, an SEC West, a Big Ten East, a Big Ten West, and then some form of a Pac-12 that would include about 8 teams. And that would get me up at a 40-ish number. That's where I would be. Mine's pretty simple. It doesn't change a lot, except for you wouldn't have those West Coast teams be a part of the Big Ten. That still makes no sense to me. That would be mine, but I'm curious to hear yours. So we want to pull that up online?
So I did what, just before we pull it up.
Oh,
you just
sorry.
pulled it up. Okay. Before we pull it up, I just want everybody to know how I did this. I did mine under the assumption of their model, which is 70 teams, 10 relegation teams. That means 70 teams locked into 7 divisions, 10 teams per division, and then 1 relegation division. So I'm going to tell you guys how I think that should look for each one. If you want to go ahead and pull it up, Dave, you can pull it up now. Sorry.
All right. I'll do that. There you go.
All right. So my first is the SEC. I'm bringing back the old SEC, the one before expansion. The 10 before 1992. Tennessee, Vanderbilt, Florida, LSU, Georgia, Kentucky, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Alabama, and Auburn. That's my 10.
Okay. Got no argument with those. I like the fact they're all in the South and you don't have some stupid Missouri in there.
Yes. Now I'm going to the ACC. I'm mixing up the ACC a little bit because there's some regional things that just have to make sense. So the new ACC is Florida State, Central Florida, because Central Florida is automatically in because they're in the Big 12 now. So Florida State, UCF, Miami, Georgia Tech, Clemson, South Carolina, and then the 4 North Carolina schools, Duke, UNC, Wake Forest, and NC State.
Okay, I'm on board. Keep going.
All righty.
Like this. If you like this, go ahead and click like. I notice a lot of new people are jumping on board. I think Caleb's onto something here. I give him credit. So from the ACC, we go to what conference?
Time to bring back the Big East title and actually make a Northeast conference. We will realize the late Joe Paterno's dream, even though Joe Paterno won't be a part, Penn State won't be a part of this conference. And
okay, I want to remind everybody real quick, Apex Apparel Group Design. You can go to yourapexapparel.com, yourapexapparel.com, or call Tyler, 865-919-3001, 865-919-3001. 15% off your first order if you mention Off the Hook Sports. What's our next conference?
So going to the Northeast, we got the Virginia schools, Virginia and Virginia Tech, West Virginia and Maryland, Boston College, Syracuse, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Louisville, and Rutgers. That's the Northeastern Conference. What do you think about that, Dave?
I like it, and I found a way to make your screen even bigger. Keep going.
Nice. All right. So now we go out west, like you talked about. The old Pac-10. Exactly what it was. Washington, Washington State, Oregon, Oregon State, USC, UCLA, Stanford, Cal, Arizona, Arizona State. Simple. Exactly what it was before Colorado and Utah came on.
Okay. And then, so that rounds us. Oh, we got a Midwest conference. What are we going to call that?
I'm going through all 8 divisions. Okay. The Midwest. I'm going to apologize in advance. I tried my hardest, and I mean my hardest, to keep the old school conference alignments as they were. But if you're going to do 10 teams per division with the lock-ins that are in there, there's no way to do that, Dave, possibly. So I have to apologize to a couple of fan bases. Minnesota and Iowa cannot be in this Big Ten, which is I'm now calling the Midwest Conference.
Okay.
The reason is this one's going to have Michigan, Ohio State, Michigan State, Notre Dame, Penn State, Indiana, Northwestern, Purdue, Illinois, and Wisconsin. And the reason I decided to kick out Minnesota and Iowa, you'll see in a second with the next one. I decided to kick out Minnesota and Iowa because I separated it by the Mississippi River. I think that's a fair geographical separation, right? East and west of the Mississippi.
Yes, it's a more Midwestern conference.
Exactly.
Midwest.
Now I'm bringing back the old Big 8, but I'm calling it the Big 10 because it's going to have 10 teams.
You got Minnesota, Nebraska, Iowa State, Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, BYU, Utah, and Colorado. That is, they're never going to have a champion out of that crew.
But it's the old Big 8 at least.
Okay.
It's the fun old Big 8. And then, wait, I'm reviving the Southwest Conference, Dave. I'm bringing it back. I'm bringing it back.
I do love that.
Texas, Texas A&M, Arkansas, Texas Tech, Baylor, TCU, SMU, Houston, Oklahoma, and Oklahoma State. Just Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Texas schools.
It's a lot of work. So lastly, you've got relegation down below that.
These are the 10 teams I think will start, and these are the 10 teams that'll be in. For those who don't know, the relegation league is the league that you get promoted into or promoted out of. Nobody's locked in. These are the 10 other teams that I think will start in the relegation league. They could be demoted. You tell me if there's another group of 5 team I think should be in there. But I got Boise State because of their recent history. UNLV because, Dave, UNLV is the sleeping giant of college football. Vegas, gambling. San Diego State, big market. Colorado State, big market. Temple, just want the Philly market. UConn, they've always been borderline Power 5. Liberty, I troll them a lot, but they are an emerging, like they are the Baptist version of Notre Dame, if you will. Memphis, Tulane, and South Florida.
How do you not have Vanderbilt in the relegation league?
Vanderbilt's locked in. They're in the SEC. I don't have a choice. They can't be relegated. They are locked in as one of the 70 teams.
Well, they have to be relegated at some point when they go 2-10,
nope.
Right?
The locked in 70 are locked in as of now.
Okay, but if a relegation team wins their way up, who gets dropped out?
Basically, the worst team in the relegation league gets demoted to the lower level, and then the top team in the FBS gets into the relegation league. The relegation league is one of the primary Division I programs. It's just you're never safe if you're in the relegation league.
Okay, so you've got yourself kind of down to your last warning if you're in the relegation league.
Yes, pretty much. And I'm
it's
saying, tell me I did not format the conferences as to keep traditions alive and well with rivalries.
You worked hard. I'm still a little leaning towards I don't necessarily need San Diego State in my mega conference, but
you have to have
Super League. We're doing something else entirely.
Yeah, exactly. Now, yeah, so like some debates, would you take San Diego State or Hawaii in the relegation league, Dave?
Probably Hawaii.
Yeah, you just want to go to Hawaii, but you want to go cover a game out there.
No doubt about it.